The Boruto time skip manga leaks are now here and we're going to be going over them. So massive spoilers ahead. First up is the cover art with Boruto looking drippy as fuck. There's really not much to say about this. Except now we know for a fact that this symbol right here is Himaware's necklace. And then right out the gates we have Shikamaru wearing the Hokage cloak, meaning that Shikamaru might actually be the new Hokage, not Kakashi or Konohamaru. Sarada is explaining to Shikamaru how Boruto is not a traitor, and Shikamaru is saying how he's worried for Sarada as a shinobi. Then we have Sarada saying that Naruto is her role model and not Shikamaru, all while looking drippy as fuck. Then we have Kawaki also looking drippy as fuck because these time skip designs are absolutely unmatched. Entering the timeless dimension where Naruto and Hinata are stored, meaning that Kawaki has time stop resistance hacks, if not even more. Then we actually get to see time skip Himaware, and she is training with Chocho, and she doesn't look like a slouch either, as she is easily able to keep up with Chocho. This insinuates that Himaware is serious about becoming a ninja. Then we have Mitsuki talking to Kawaki. Mitsuki is talking about how much he hates Boruto and wants to kill him. And Kawaki is saying that Boruto cannot escape his eyes' abilities and he will know exactly when Boruto enters the village. He also insinuates that he has the capability to fly now. We also have this amazing panel of Boruto, Kawaki, and Code, where we see that Code now has a scar in his left eye as well. Then Code's minions attack the village. As we can see, we get a nice booty shot of one of these Frieza minions. Then we have a couple of scenes of Sarada fighting some of these clones, where we can see that these clones can teleport between each other. Then Code pulls up on Sarada out of one of the clones, and essentially says good morning to her. And then Boruto pulls up immediately, and we get this cool scan of Boruto and Sarada being surrounded by Code's minions. And then Boruto proceeds to blitz Code and step on his face. There's a couple of things like Ada and Damon, where they say that they cannot reverse the effects of her omnipotence. Time skip Shikadai and I think Inojin. There's also more to the training between Himaware and Chocho. All I can say is that this is going to be an amazing time skip.
Naruto? Not at all. We literally watched Momoshiki get rocked by a tree-level Rasengan. If you don't believe me, I have a whole thing on...
So this is the age-old argument of does AP/DC equate to durability? And the answer is that it depends. But for Naruto, the answer is 100% yes. The event that this creator is referring to is this one, when Momoshiki gets hit by Boruto's Rasengan and gets knocked over. However, there are two problems with this. One is that this was an off-guard feat and it still barely damaged him. It quite literally just caught him off guard and knocked him over, causing him to release the jutsu. And as stated in the data book, this was 100% off guard. Here's it zoomed in. The vanishing Rasengan attacked Momoshiki in this unguarded moment. And as we know in the Naruto series, being off guard does lower your durability, as when being on guard, the characters use their chakra control to increase their durability. This is displayed many times, like Naruto blocking swords with his forearms while being on guard. Yet when he's off guard, it can easily pierce him. Yet again, while being on guard, he's not so easy to cut through. Or other moments like Madara being able to be stabbed by both Sasuke and Zetsu while off guard, yet on guard tanking hits from all of the tailed beasts at the same time. In simple terms, what this means is that off guard feats are not a valid display of a character's durability. The second problem being that people keep referring to Boruto's Rasengan as tree level, because it broke a tree, when this is only reflective of the DC of the Rasengan and not the AP. Here's Jiraiya's Rasengan only carving into a tree. This does not mean that Jiraiya is only tree level. And a good way to determine if a character's AP is equivalent to their durability is the application of Newton's third law, which is every action has an equal yet opposite reaction. So if you output 200 pounds of force on the floor and you don't take damage, that means you can receive 200 pounds of force and not be damaged, because the output of that amount of weight is also being outputted on yourself. So when we see feats like this, like Sakura crumbling the ground beneath her with just a punch, and not receiving any damage or adverse effects on her hands, that means that Newton's third law does apply to Naruto. As if her AP did not equal her durability, then her hand would be shattered. Therefore, we can apply Newton's third law to the verse, and durability is equivalent to AP. By the way, I just got this haircut today, so please let it cook. Predicted the attack in either format of manga or anime.
Naruto got caught by the Limbo clones because he couldn't see it, nor did he know where it was. He only knew that it was nearby thanks to his sensing abilities, so dodging a lifing was him sensing the chakra buildup, or we're gonna act like Naruto.
It's just another day, I guess. Yes, Naruto is able to sense negative intent and people's chakra. Show where Naruto was able to sense chakra buildup in the form of a jutsu and then know exactly what jutsu it is. You can't because it's never happened. Ironically enough, in your attempt to discredit me of showing Naruto sensing capabilities, you missed my key part of the argument. Show in the manga or anime where Naruto sensed that the Light Fang was coming. Saying that Naruto sensed the Light Fang because he can sense chakra is blatant headcanon, which is ironic because you claimed I was using headcanon. When in both the manga and anime continuity there is zero display of Naruto sensing the Light Fang. Even if I steelman your point, your argument completely falls apart. Because Naruto still didn't dodge the Light Fang until it was right in front of his face. And even if he sensed the chakra buildup in Madara's mouth, he would not know that it was the Light Fang. But this is only if we go with your completely incorrect statement.
They created a moon.
The Chubaku Tensei is literally a jutsu that melds Earth together using chakra from the planet. And the rocks gathered from the Earth also contain chakra, and the whole purpose of the TSO is to nullify it.
Bro, you showed the scan. It is never stated that Chubaku Tensei takes chakra from the planet, or that the rocks that make up the Chubaku Tensei contain chakra. It verbatim states in your own scan that the Chubaku Tensei is compressed with chakra, as in chakra is used to compress the rocks into the gravitational core and nothing else. So when the TSOs cut through the moon, they were not cutting through chakra. Your argument is the equivalent of if I compress silly putty with my hands, the silly putty is now made up of my hands.
Blaze stated to be able to cut diamond. The only thing that was said was Emma would still feel pain after the clash. A toddler can punch you and still inflict pain, but that doesn't mean that you're on equal footing. Kid Kakashi cut lightning with a Chidori, but the Kusanagi...
Seb taught me something, which was that the original root kanji means diamond. Also, your analogy makes no sense. If a toddler hurts you, no, you're not equivalent to a toddler, but whatever they did to cause damage to you does outscale your durability. I didn't think I'd have to power scale real life anytime soon. And comparing real lightning to chakra-based lightning is completely fallacious because they're not the same.
Goofy's mental is transported into Mondir's dimension, which is infinite.
These dimensions are illusions and are imaginatory.
Like Caribou's boundless swamp.
It's bottomless, and that's a no-limits fallacy to use in a cross-verse debate.
There's infinite gravity. So yes, these characters can create or destroy infinite dimensions if they so wanted.
Except Blackbeard does not have infinite gravity. If you concede to statements like these, you also need to concede to the fact that Madara can destroy all things in the universe. If the black hole had infinite gravity, the One Piece world would simply just not exist. So today we're going to be looking at the Hennessy Hokage's reasons as to why Naruto is overrated. Absolutely fire name, by the way. But how anyone can think that Naruto is overrated is completely beyond me because it has solidified itself in shonen history along with the likes of One Piece and Bleach for its plot points and storytelling. So for a wild claim like this, we're going to need some solid points.
Shippuden with Donna.
No, that's a Dragon Ball thing. Naruto has never displayed that the primary focus is the fight scenes. Especially when most of the fight scenes are a result of the plot points that delve into real issues thematically. With main ones being the result of genocide, a look into political corruption, with heavy delving into the themes of depression and PTSD, along with the results of war and how too much dedication to a philosophy could twist the ideology away from its original purpose.
They shitted on Sakura. Sakura's literally one of the best medic ninjas in the whole verse. But she gets shitted on.
That's just the fan base, and we can't critique a show based on how the fan base acts. In the show, they do the complete opposite of shitting on Sakura. They gave her one of the best fights in the entire show against Sasori, taking the time to heal and save as many people as physically possible in the 4th Great Ninja War. She supported Naruto's goal, pumped his goddamn heart for him when he was on the brink of death, and even fights alongside him and Sasuke.
He found out the truth and still wanted to go behind his back, and it's like, nah bro, fuck that. I'm still gonna defeat the village. But that's a spit in his...
And that's exactly what made Sasuke's actions and thought process so good. Sasuke wasn't some battle-hardened, mentally fortified shinobi like Kakashi or Itachi, who would support their village's politics for the greater good. He was a 16-year-old kid that just found out his entire clan and family basically died as a result of his own village's politics. The village essentially made his brother kill his entire family. He doesn't care about Itachi's will or the village's politics. He's pissed. It made him unhinged, and that's exactly what makes it so good.
When a little kid was like, no, I'm safe with her, I'm comfortable with her. Now you come back with me, I don't care. It's like...
He then uses a filler arc to say that Naruto is selfish, so I'm not even going to address that because it never happened.
They wanted to care about Sasuke, and Sasuke didn't want to be here.
It didn't matter what Sasuke wanted. Naruto was trying to stop him because Naruto was a good friend, with them both admitting in their fight that they felt like they were brothers. Sasuke was going down the dark path of hatred and revenge to kill his brother. So he attempts to leave the village to go to a national terrorist who just wants to steal his body. Naruto trying to stop Sasuke from leaving and prevent him from going down the path of hate makes Naruto a good friend. This is like saying if your friend wants to do crack, you should just let him do crack because he wants to, when a real friend would not let his friend do something that's self-destructive.
Literally the villain, like I said, Akatsuki. You only know about Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi, who else?
They also went in depth on every single one of the Hokage, including the 3 Sannin, along with Killer Bee, Kabuto, Rock Lee, Neji, Hinata, and Shikamaru and Choji. Now, not liking the lack of exploration into the other villages is completely fine, but we have to understand that Naruto isn't exactly a world-building anime. The show is called Naruto. The focus is Naruto's story, so of course the only people we're going to go in depth on are people within his own life. We can't fault the show for not having an element that it was never meant to have. That's like saying a slice of life anime isn't good because there's not enough fight scenes.
Yeah, I think social media today hyped it up way more than...
No, I think social media today is actually just giving Naruto the credit that it's due, as people understand what Naruto excels at and thus respect it for it. So yeah, no hate to these creators, but these points really didn't show how Naruto is overrated. I didn't know how many Boros wankers actually existed until I started indulging in Boros versus debates. Boros kicked Saitama to the moon and people just put him against anybody now. Keep in mind, kicking somebody to the moon is a very impressive looking feat, but it's not actually an impressive feat. In fact, kicking Saitama to the moon didn't even scale him anywhere. This feat isn't even scalable in terms of AP. It has been scaled in conjunction with his speed to make him FTL. And this scale doesn't even have a base. It comes from the time frame of how long it took Saitama to hit the moon in the anime continuity, which is not a valid thing to go off of whatsoever. But yes, the character who is only FTL based off the shittiest speed scaling known to mankind, and is multi-continental in canon, can somehow compete with Jubidara, Hagoromo, Jigen, and Ishiki, who are planetary, star, and star, who are also FTL, FTL+, and both Jigen and Ishiki are FTL+ to MFTL based on how you scale them. I've seen MFTL scales for Hagoromo, but I don't know if I agree with them. And they're basic too. Madara absorbed a planetary being and performed casual multi-continental level feats. Hagoromo fought the planetary Ten-Tails, and both Jigen and Ishiki dog shit on Naruto and Sasuke, who are both respectively star and FTL+. But then you go to the comments and you see shit like this. Boros has literally destroyed galaxies. So every last ounce of Boros' energy unleashed at once is only multi-continental. Yet somehow he can destroy galaxies? It is never stated anywhere in the manga, in the anime, or in the webcomic that Boros has destroyed planets or destroyed galaxies. It's stated that he has conquered planets, as in he took them over in an attempt to find someone who can compete against him. And considering all of his energy is multi-continental, I really doubt he's a planet buster. Now if we go off the anime continuity, he is, as the anime changes it to him destroying the planet. Which is fine, but it still doesn't get him past any of these characters in terms of speed, and does not get him past Jigen or Ishiki in terms of AP. And the data book is completely contradicted by both the anime and manga, so we cannot use it. Boros is absolute fodder to the Narutoverse, and that's a fact. So I received this amazing question, which is, did Naruto's base AP and durability drop after his nerf? The nerf in question being losing Kurama. And the answer is yes, all of base Naruto's feats completely hold up even to this day. Naruto getting hit with the Jubi Cataclysm, which is calced at multi-continental, all while in base mode and coming out with only a dislocated arm and some minor bleeding, still holds up. Naruto in base with no chakra being hit with the pure vaporization power of all of his chakra, still completely holds up. Naruto tanking a hit from Momoshiki, then coming back with absolutely zero damage and is completely unfazed, still holds up. This is because, contrary to what people believe, Kurama never really amped Naruto. There is zero insinuation in the novels, in the anime, or in the manga that Kurama was passively amping Naruto's durability, speed, or AP. The only time Naruto is ever shown to have his stats increased by Kurama is when enough of Kurama's chakra leaks to show visible features, such as the visible showcase of Kurama's chakra or Naruto's eyes being Kurama's eyes. But when he's completely in base mode, the only thing he receives from Kurama's chakra is passive healing, with no amps to his durability, speed, or AP. So yes, all of Naruto's base form feats completely hold up, and anybody who thinks otherwise is either hard coping or lying to themselves. So I received a question which is, can't Luffy just imagine Naruto died because of his power? Now what this person is referring to is this, which is the Road to Laugh Tale, which states that Gear 5 is Luffy's peak with the ability to turn imagination into reality. What people don't understand is that this is not Luffy's actual ability. It's contradicted in the manga and anime, it makes no sense narratively, and can also be taken to mean different things. Let's start with it being contradicted. If Luffy can truly turn anything he imagines into reality, the whole Gear 5 versus Kaido fight would not happen. Why didn't he just imagine that this blast breath wasn't gonna hit him? Or why didn't he imagine that he wouldn't take damage from it? Or why didn't he imagine that slashing attacks wouldn't work on him anymore? Since even in Gear 5, they clearly still work on him, as he goes out of his way to dodge Kaido's attacks, which he is clearly still weak to in this form as they work on him. The entire time he's getting his ass kicked by Kaido, he doesn't imagine once that he wants it to stop, or to be stronger than Kaido by such a severe amount that none of this matters. So to say that Luffy can turn anything that he imagines into reality is just saying that he can do something that he's never been shown to do. Which leads into the next point of it making zero narrative sense for Luffy to have an ability like this. If Luffy can turn anything that he imagines with no limits into reality, then that means there's quite literally zero story left to cover. The One Piece, he can imagine that he has it. Any fight in the future doesn't need to happen. He can imagine that he wins. Or imagine that he's so much stronger than the opponent that there doesn't need to be a fight. Then if for some reason he has this ability and never uses it, that still makes no sense. That makes even less sense than him just not having the ability. Let me give an example with someone who does have the ability to turn anything he imagines with zero restrictions into reality. Simone from Gurren Lagann. Do you want to know how they handle Simone having the power to turn anything he imagines into reality? They end the show. They ended the show because there's no show left to cover. They let Simone grow old and then end the story because if there was another threat while Simone is alive, there's nothing that can be done. Simone would objectively just win every time in verse. So with more story left to cover in One Piece, it makes no sense for Luffy to have an OP ability like this. So no, Luffy can't just imagine that Naruto dies, because he simply just doesn't have that ability. You see, it's actually the opposite. Every single light speed feat I gave for Naruto is verbatim stated to be light speed. Let's start with the basics, Madara's Light Fang. Instead of using a name fallacy to say that it's light speed, let's just go to the databook description. The user emits a beam of light. We don't even need the second half of the description because now we know the Light Fang is literal light. Because it is light, it moves at light speed. But just to add on to it, the second half clearly states it cuts all things with the speed of light. So Light Fang is 100% light speed. Then we have Delta's light beams. In the official Viz translation, they are described to be destructive beams, which by definition, a beam is a ray of light. Even the raw kanji says Gosen, which in Japanese means beam of light. So both the official and raw kanji directly confirm that these are beams of light, making them light speed. And then finally, we have Naruto with no chakra who is dying of cancer and is almost blind dodging a light beam, which is described as a laser beam made up of photons. Both lasers and photons are just light. So since it's a light beam that is made up of particles of light, this means it moves at light speed. So correction, all of these light speed feats are confirmed to be light speed. And if these attacks truly aren't light speed, then how do you explain this?
If you mean.
So today we're going to be going over Pablo's video on Luffy versus Naruto, of which his first point being Naruto has better AP and Luffy has better strength I semi-agree with. But both lifting and striking strength are very arbitrary when it comes to a versus battle matchup, so I don't really care if anybody wants to scale Luffy or Naruto higher in that category.
Of dodging light beams, but that's about it. Officially there's never been stated for any character to be able of moving faster than the speed of light. While One Piece already has random character capable of moving at the speed of light, while others even outrun their own light beams.
Now this is where I hard disagree. Naruto is only capable of dodging light beams? Just because there's no direct statements that say Naruto can move faster than light doesn't mean he can't do it, as we are blatantly shown multiple times that Naruto can. Besides the classic dodging Light Fang when he was 17, We also have in the novels a Naruto who is in base with 0 chakra, is dying of ninja cancer, and is going blind, easily dodging a light beam. This is without the amps of just naturally having chakra, KCM1, KCM2, Sage of 6 Paths, or Baryon mode, all of which excessively amp Naruto's speed. Then we have Naruto and Boruto blatantly traveling faster than a beam of light. A blatant display of faster than light travel speed. And on top of dodging the light beams multiple times in the fight, also displayed that while being fatigued is easily able to perceive one coming straight towards his face, and is able to move towards that beam of light, activate his own jutsu, and intercept that same beam. On top of being able to easily keep up with FTL plus characters like Kaguya, Momoshiki, and Ishiki. So Naruto has the same feats, if not better.
One knife and you almost met Jesus. Using chakra as a shield doesn't count as part of your durability. Luffy, on the other hand,
Yes, it does. That's quite literally not arguable. If we go by that logic, Goku's durability isn't even bullet level. Matter of fact, it's just barely rock level. As without using ki control and being on guard, he gets damaged by mundane things. Same with Naruto, this is an off-guard feat, therefore it does not apply to Naruto's durability. We're also forgetting the fact that Naruto was completely fine and just pulled it out right after. And Naruto in base has been hit with attacks that rival the strongest attacks in One Piece.
a better offense as every single attack he throws has durability negation, and better defense as his armament haki is knife-proof unlike some other.
Naruto has blatantly better offense since he's able to counter Duraneg attacks just by punching back against them. On top of multiple variations of Duraneg himself, being able to completely wipe out meteors that dwarf the curvature of the earth with a casual attack. On top of being able to hit you when he misses his attack with Sage Mode. And for defense, Naruto's Kurama avatar is on par with the perfect Susanoo, and he's able to take attacks from characters that are significantly stronger than anybody in the One Piece verse. These rods were microscopic, so I don't want to hear anything about that. And Naruto has been knife-proof since Four-Tail Mode at the beginning of Shippuden. He's only not knife-proof if you use out-of-context off-guard feats.
Get agility. Luffy is quicker and his rubber body allows him to perform movement.
Naruto gets agility because agility is just the ability to move fast and easy. Luffy using his rubber body to move in a variety of ways isn't agility, that's creativity.
Luffy has future sight, which allows him to see slightly into the future. He's capable of reacting to anything before it even happened.
Which is exactly why Luffy doesn't get reaction speed. Naruto has the same and better reaction feats as Luffy without being able to see into the future. If you can see what's gonna happen before it happens, that doesn't count towards your reaction speed. Let's put it into perspective. If I know exactly when a bullet is gonna get fired and I move my head right before the trigger gets pulled, does that mean I reacted to the speed of the bullet? It doesn't.
But as they both possess durability negation, both with Luffy having a better type which makes every single one of his attacks bypass the opponent durability and destroy them from the inside. It's basically the same type which is stated to kill even the strongest.
AP matters a lot even with durability negation. And that type of Duraneg you're referring to is Tenketsu. The same Tenketsu that Naruto has easily dealt with before. No hate to Pablo, I just disagree with these points. So let me preface with no hate to this creator whatsoever, but what the fuck does that mean, Kobe Bryant? You cannot like Boruto for any reason, good or bad, that's completely up to the reader. But saying that it destroyed the Naruto series is just wild. Because that's not an opinion, that's just objectively not true. But Boruto destroyed the Naruto series because Naruto was not allowed to enjoy his successes as Hokage. So we're just gonna completely ignore the fact that he literally enjoys his success as Hokage. In his 5 to 7 year reign as Hokage, he has attained worldwide respect, created major technological and political advancements in Konoha, and has upheld world peace for his entire reign as Hokage. As Hokage, he quite literally got to enjoy the fruits of his labor. Then we have the fact that Naruto is not Hokage anymore and got trapped by Kawaki is such a joke. Because the Naruto I know would not let this happen and would not give up on being Hokage. When did he give up on being Hokage and let this happen? Last time I checked, Naruto didn't choose to not be Hokage anymore. He was kindly forcefully torn away from this fucking dimension. This is not the face of a man who wanted this to happen. And we're saying he let this happen as if Naruto was able to do anything about this. Naruto was having a nice dinner with his family when his second son Kawaki just casually drops that he's gonna kill Boruto. And then when Hinata says, no, you're not gonna kill Boruto, he teleports them into the fucking nether. In this millisecond time span, was Naruto supposed to pick up the phone, call up his big three homies Luffy and Ichigo to pull up into Konoha? Although that would have been sick as fuck, no, he couldn't have done anything. Now again, it's completely fine to not like Boruto, to each their own. But it doesn't mean we have to just lie. Boruto did not destroy Naruto's legacy whatsoever. So which character destroyed a meteor better? Now I'm just gonna have to say that it's Sasuke, but let me know what you guys think. Now the reason why I think Sasuke did it the best, ironically enough, is because that it's less intense than the other four. All of these scenes besides Sasuke show close-up visuals of the characters screaming in the face of these threats, while unleashing their attacks in a very intense fashion to destroy these meteors. While Kenny and Saitama destroyed their meteors with relative ease, the intensity was still there. But with Sasuke's it was different. An army of 6 gate users attempt to destroy this meteor and can only split it in half, leaving another half to fall towards the village. Now when there's no one left to protect the village, do we get a close-up visual of Sasuke charging up his Chidori? A look of determination on Sasuke's face as he runs towards it in an attempt to protect the village? Or him screaming with intensity as he's about to perform the greatest feat in the show? No, we get none of that. It's dead silent with no music, we don't even know that Sasuke is there, and then Sasuke just runs up and one-shots the meteor with his most basic ninjutsu, and completely vaporizes it in the process, essentially showing that a threat like this is dust on Sasuke's shoulder. And then he proceeds to say that he is the only person that can protect the village that's not Naruto, showing what was once one of the most intense feats ever performed in the entirety of the Naruto series, and was considered a feat of godly proportions, is now absolutely nothing to him. So Sasuke's is the best because Sasuke showed that meteors don't mean shit. There doesn't need to be an insane close-up, there doesn't need to be intense music, and he doesn't have to use a strong attack. Sasuke properly displayed that dealing with a meteor is absolute light work. So which character destroyed a meteor better? Now I'm just gonna have to say that it's Sasuke, but let me know what you guys think. Now the reason why I think Sasuke did it the best, ironically enough, is because that it's less intense than the other four. All of these scenes besides Sasuke show close-up visuals of the characters screaming in the face of these threats, while unleashing their attacks in a very intense fashion to destroy these meteors. While Kenny and Saitama destroyed their meteors with relative ease, the intensity was still there. But with Sasuke's it was different. An army of 6 gate users attempt to destroy this meteor and can only split it in half, leaving another half to fall towards the village. Now when there's no one left to protect the village, do we get a close-up visual of Sasuke charging up his Chidori? A look of determination on Sasuke's face as he runs towards it in an attempt to protect the village? Or him screaming with intensity as he's about to perform the greatest feat in the show? No, we get none of that. It's dead silent with no music, we don't even know that Sasuke is there, and then Sasuke just runs up and one-shots the meteor with his most basic ninjutsu, and completely vaporizes it in the process, essentially showing that a threat like this is dust on Sasuke's shoulder. And then he proceeds to say that he is the only person that can protect the village that's not Naruto, showing what was once one of the most intense feats ever performed in the entirety of the Naruto series, and was considered a feat of godly proportions, is now absolutely nothing to him. So Sasuke's is the best because Sasuke showed that meteors don't mean shit. There doesn't need to be an insane close-up, there doesn't need to be intense music, and he doesn't have to use a strong attack. Sasuke properly displayed that dealing with a meteor is absolute light work.